mind you, I'm doing all this traveling with no agent. It's amazing what that can do to the mind.
Welcome to Football Unknown.
First female on the Football Unknown podcast. How's
That's
that?
true. I didn't even realize.
First female on the podcast.
Wow.
Man.
I'm honored.
It's a big one too.
I'm honored.
Right. Before we start the podcast off, right? Tell people a little brief introduction about yourself. What's your name?
Little brief introduction.
Yep. Little brief introduction.
Well, I'm Patty. I like to go by Patty, but my real name's Patricia. I'm 24. I'll be 25 in the next week.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing soccer for 22 years.
Damn, 22 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you bring all of us back to the first time you fell in love with the game? How old were you? If you could remember.
That's actually really tough.
Yeah.
I think it sounds very cliche, but my parents put me in the game, and ever since then it was kind of just like a habit.
Really?
It was a habit. Yeah. It was like it was never love. It was like, wow, okay, I'm learning a lot through this.
Yeah.
It's teaching me a lot. I'm growing. I like the friends that I'm making, the things that I'm learning, everything.
Okay.
It was kind of like that. It was never like, oh, I love this. It was never. Oh no, I don't know. It was never like
and
that.
how old were you when you realized that? Like it's like a learning experience, and it just helps you grow as a person.
12.
Playing soccer. 12.
12. Yeah, a little bit of a more comprehensible age for sure. 12. Yeah.
And what team were you playing for back when you were 12?
Unionville. It was called Unionville. It was about like maybe 25 minutes north of where I lived. Yeah.
And was it like a travel team, or was it like an academy, or like?
It was just a normal team. In the GTA. We just played other teams in the GTA.
And how many years did you spend at that club?
I think about three.
Three
or four. Yeah.
Okay. And then what are some things that you say you learned, right, that helps you grow as a person playing 12 years old for that club?
In that club or in general?
In that club.
In that club? Oh, I learned a lot of difficult things.
Really?
A lot of difficult things. Yeah, I learned that the game is not really what you think it is.
Interesting.
You have to know the right people, or you have to have a lot of money. I learned that really young, which kind of sucked for me because I was a kid that was so optimistic. I was like, I'm gonna do the A, B, C, and D, and
your talent gonna push you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It went south for me when I found out these things. Like, oh, okay, well, if you don't know this person or you don't have this type of money in your bank account, it's kind of like, well, who are you? Unless you're like you're Messi, like unless you're sticking out really well. It's gonna be really tough for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a good thing though, like to really
You think so?
understand that and to realize that at a very young age.
Right.
I think it helps you like really gauge and like navigate through the industry.
Yeah, I think it hurts more to know that there were some kids that were like less fortunate.
Yeah.
And those are the kids that get caught in the system and they're just like, oh well, I'll just work a job and I'll just go on with my life and just do other things.
Yeah. So after you spent 3 years at that club, what was the next step for you? What was the next move?
12 years old. Like I was like 13. I was going into high school.
Okay.
I had an incredible career in high school. Loved it.
You played the high?
Yeah, I stood out a lot for sure. I don't want to brag, but I stood out a lot. And
what position do you play?
Striker.
Oh, you're a striker.
I can kind of play anywhere, like but I prefer the 9.
Yep.
Prefer the 9 or the 10.
9.
Yeah, love it.
So you had a good season in high school.
Very much so.
Give us some stats. Give us some stats. How many?
Some stats?
Yeah, some stats.
I don't even know. You'd have to Google it because I don't even remember.
Oh shit! Okay. On Google, this has all on Google and shit.
I think I had in my junior and senior year, 30 goals in the season, both seasons.
God,
yeah,
damn.
Both seasons.
So you stood out.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then you played so in Canada, is it like all 4 years? You guys were 4 years in high school, or
yes.
4 years. So you did all 4 years in high school.
Yeah.
What was next? Scoring like 30 goals in 2 seasons.
I traveled with both my parents to several different places, including UCLA.
Oh.
To try to like grab on to an opportunity. You know, like the whole D1, D2 life.
Yep.
It unfortunately never worked for me. I went to like I can't remember exactly this school in Tampa Bay. Well, I went to Walsh University in Ohio. This other school in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like I was like all over.
Is it like ID camps or was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then right after that, they were like, they weren't supposed to talk to us, but they did anyways, and they were like trying to schedule tours and information and da da da. So I ended up going to a lot of those.
Yep.
But what ended up not working out was like, you know, a lot of family issues. My brother also passed away. So because of those things, it created like, you know, I was 17 at the time when I graduated.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. There's a lot of pressure, and it wasn't like it wasn't also my decision either. Like I felt pressured by my dad. Like it was kind of like he's like, you have to go here.
Really? So he wanted it more than you did at the time, right?
Like certain places were very like over religious. Like I know we were a family of like, you know, raised Catholics, but it was like too much, you know?
Really?
Yeah, it was either really, really, really party school or like really religious. And I'm like, I can't do either of these. And then the environment, football wise, I didn't really like it. They were selling the idea like I was gonna be this person that I'm not.
Yep.
And you know, they kind of try to sell you like the jersey. They got the jersey with the number, but it doesn't make sense because I'm like, another girl on the team's wearing this number. Why are you trying to? You know what I mean? Why are you trying to?
Trying to pitch it.
Yeah,
trying
what's
to pitch
the word?
it weird.
Yeah. You know, I'm like, I guess that's the sales pitch, right? To
Yeah.
kind of, you see your favorite number, you see like your name on the jersey, all this, and I'm
they
like,
put all that stuff, and
no.
you see your like name tag on the locker room.
But I did my research, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why are they trying to give me my number, my name? But there's a girl that just signed on this team. She's a freshman, and her name is on that jersey, and she has that number. I'm like, I would never take that from somebody if they already had it.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's a little sketchy.
Yeah, a little sketchy.
I don't like that.
So you went through all of these ID camps and talked with like all these schools.
Yeah, I went through the whole, you know, family trials and tribulations and like the whole bad friendships and you know, putting myself in situations where I didn't want to be a part of anymore, and you know, went down a little bit of a dark road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So all of these things was just messing with you at the time,
big
right?
time, yeah.
So you said you decided not to like go through with like playing for any D1, D2 schools.
Yeah, unfortunately, that avenue it kind of died.
Yeah,
it kind of died, and I said, well, you know what? Maybe my path is not going to be like everybody else's, because you know, a lot of girls from Canada, that's their plan: go to high school and straight out. If they're an athlete, boom, States is where you want to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it kind of sets you up for that pro. You got the videos. I didn't have the videos. You know, you have connections, you have coaches, you have different things you can look at, you know, get information and advice. Didn't have any of that.
Wow.
I kind of had to make that for myself. I went to a known university about an hour and a half
in Canada,
south, of me.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about that was I wasn't educated enough. I was never like pro education ever.
Yeah.
It was always football.
Always,
what can I do if I get to play football? I'll go to school. It was kind of like that. But if I didn't get to play football, I probably never would have went to school.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are the same way.
Yeah,
a lot of players are the same way, right?
Yeah.
So you went to that university and
it was called Laurier Brantford. The main campus was Wilfrid Laurier University. Right. So the main campus had, you know, all your big things, big parties, athletics.
Okay.
Yeah, all the big programs, business, right? I went to a smaller campus about an hour south of the main campus.
Wow.
And what did I do?
What did you do?
It stresses me out just thinking about it. I put half of my courses online.
Okay.
I studied criminology.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
I know. No one expects that.
Mm-hmm.
Studied criminology, and from that campus, I would drive an hour north and then an hour back south to make trainings.
Wow.
And mind you, There was twice a day we had trainings.
Twice a
we
day.
had either like a lift or a yoga in the morning, like at 7.
Oh,
and
y'all do yoga and stuff too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then we had a 4 o'clock training.
Dang.
4 o'clock training. Yeah, it was.
And you have to drive to practice in the morning,
Yeah,
back home.
yeah.
To practice,
Yeah.
back home.
Right. And then when that didn't work out, that's when I put like half of the things online, because then I would just drive there, stay there, try to make friends. If not, majority of the time I'd be sleeping in my car.
Wow.
Yeah, because like I knew that I was not going to be able to make. Sometimes I was like, oh man, making that drive, because I wake up at like 3 a.m.
Yep.
And then I'd have to like get ready, leave. By the time I get there, it's already like 6. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow. And it's probably like, you're a college student, right? So paying all that gas money every day is like...
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. I can't tell you that like the result was good, because I don't want to say I didn't get anything out of it, because I learned a lot from it.
Okay.
And like no one will be able to take away that experience and that dedication I had.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I didn't get what I put in. Usually I guess we have an expectation when we put in so much work, we want a result.
Result, yeah.
At least, like maybe even some type of recognition would have been amazing. I didn't even get that.
Oh,
Man. I played 45 minutes in 4 years.
What?
3 years, sorry.
45 minutes in 3 years.
In 3 years, yeah. I came fresh into uni after ACL. Redshirted the first year, but it was like perfect though. Like I did all my recovery, strength and conditioning right before I got into uni, and I walked on. I had no scholarship, nothing. I just made it as a walk on.
Okay.
And I just never felt like I got the recognition for like I don't want to say like, I slept in my car, I made the meals the day before, and I got there and I did this and that, because no one saw that.
Yeah, no one saw that. Yeah.
And unfortunately, people at my university were not very welcoming, and they weren't very embracing. Yeah, no. Wow. It was like everybody, it was an individual effort. It was not a team effort. It was very cliquey. It was the girls had segregated groups, and like it wasn't. It wasn't. It
wasn't a team environment, right?
Not at all. Okay. Not at all. No, I didn't. I can't tell you that I enjoyed it, and if I did, I'd be lying. But it was an incredible experience, because that dedication, and if it was any different, I don't think I would be where I am today, because that really pushed me. Like I would cry and I would be upset, and my mom would be upset, and like I even got kicked off the team and then like apologized to and then put back on the team, and then I did like I did some research, and then I found out some other kid, I won't mention his name, but him and I were friends because we both went to the same campus. We were both athletes on the other campus. And he told me that he got taken off the team and then put back. And then I was like, wait a minute, is this like a Laurier Brantford bias thing?
Yeah.
Like, do they not like us because we're not on the same campus, but we're putting in the same work as everybody else? We're not asking for special treatment. We're asking for 5 minutes of playing time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
5 minutes.
And they only gave you 45.
I have made miracles in 5 minutes. I have made serious miracles in 5 minutes.
Really?
Because coming from the athlete that's been sitting on the bench, and like there's this fire in you that's like, okay, I only have 5 minutes. I only have 10 minutes. You got to utilize it. I've made miracles. You can make miracles in 2 minutes. People have scored from half, from kickoff.
Yep. Yep. Wow.
So stuff like that. So it was an experience that I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change.
Wow.
Because everyone has that, like, I've heard people have had the best, D1 experience, best D2 experience, and all of that. I didn't have that, but it built a new pathway, I guess you could say.
And I'm sure it does, right? Because what was the next step after the 3 years playing at that university?
Oh man, COVID hit.
Oh.
COVID hit. Yeah. And that was a big damper for me psychologically as a footballer, because I was like, I'm getting tickets, pulling up with my own equipment to public soccer fields. Like I couldn't understand how this was a thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're in public. Talk about your freedoms really being stripped from you. Like I couldn't even I felt like I couldn't even walk on the street without getting like yelled at for not wearing a mask or something.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was intense.
Oh yeah, and Canada was like one of those like strict
Oh yeah,
countries
we
on
had
that,
it
too.
really bad for about 2.5 years,
Yeah.
like on and off. Like it was insane.
And I'm pretty sure you weren't like even able to train like when shit was like dying down, you still weren't even.
No, not at all. And like
Wow.
there was certain people and certain groups of trainers that were doing like things on the low.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could pull up here and there. You can't
Yeah.
post anything.
Yeah.
Other than that, there was nothing.
So what did you do throughout the pandemic, right?
I went through this whole like I wouldn't say depressive, but we'll say depressive phase. We don't stay depressed for too long,
Absolutely.
you know, because the clock, you know, it's ticking. So
Yep.
you know, we don't want to waste time.
Yep.
But we went through this depressive phase, and I just kind of set a schedule for me where like, okay, it was either gonna be like at the ass crack. I'm talking like in the morning, like go train. And I did, like, I'm talking like,
Give me a
like
timestamp.
4 a.m. 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
There's no police out.
Yep.
There usually is, but they're kind of like at 4 a.m. They're not kind of patrolling streets. They're kind of sitting in certain locations. Don't ask me why I know this. So I would go train at those times, run the track. You know, there was a beautiful
Wow.
field about 10 minutes away from where I lived.
Yeah.
I'd go do all that, come home. It was like I was never out. It was like I was never out.
Talk about some dedication.
Yeah, because I had to jump the fence to train at this place.
Yeah.
So every time I do that, I'd always get caught. But it was at certain hours. So I kind of was like, okay, what if I change this?
Change your route a little.
Yeah. No, because I was like, this, even if this dream dies now, I'm still in love with the idea that I'm a footballer.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It's always been a part of me.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody will be able to take that away.
Absolutely.
Even at the point where I'm incapable of playing, I will always have this mindset that I'm a footballer. You know? So
Wow.
that.
That's a really, really good mindset to have.
Crazy.
Because it keeps you pushing, even like in the
Sure.
hardest of times, right?
For sure.
So the pandemic slowed down a little bit, things got a little looser.
Unfortunately for us, it didn't slow down.
Oh.
So I decided to message anybody in the football community for advice or an opportunity that could get me out of the position that I was in. Thankfully, an opportunity came up to go straight to Brazil just for training.
Okay.
Because COVID wasn't bad there. I'm, assuming this before I even read into it. So I'm like, okay. They're telling me like you don't need to be vaccinated to get out at this point. I was like, okay. I wasn't vaccinated when I left for Brazil.
Yeah.
This was like before all of that news came out. Like you
yeah.
had to be vaccinated, whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
So I got
restrictions and
out.
stuff, yeah.
I got out as soon as that happened. I packed all my stuff at university. I put it in a storage unit and I just said, sayonara.
Wow.
I was
Deuces,
out.
I'm out of here.
Deuces, I'm out.
Wow.
All my friends were like, what? Because I told them, I was like, I'm leaving in like 4 days. I try not to tell people about good news. Because people, they always try to find the negative and the positives.
Absolutely.
So I just said, I'll tell them like as I'm leaving, you know?
So you said, sayonara,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. So you went to Brazil, right?
Went to Rio.
Rio.
Little training camp there.
Did you know
was,
anyone over there?
No, not a single soul.
Single soul. And
Just the person that connected me to the other person that was there. And he was like, yeah, I got a bunch of group of girls here. Like, we can do like, a couple days a week. I was like, hell yeah, accommodations were provided. I said, that's all I need. All I need is a pillow and a blanket.
Yeah.
And food. I'm good. I'm good.
Damn.
I'm not stressing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. My God, I want to go back there.
How long did you spend over there?
About a month and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was it training in Brazil?
Incredible. Different. That's all I have to say is different. Like the pace, the culture. For them, let's just say it's football, then education.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And yeah.
Wow, I was born into the wrong country. Let me say that,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like over there, it's a religion. Football's a religion.
Was a religion.
In Europe and everywhere,
Yeah.
except for North and South America, football's a religion. Everywhere else.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I thankfully experienced that when I went to Germany, and I went to to a game. It was Munich versus Leverkusen.
Oh, wow.
It was in Munich. We went to Munich, cold as hell.
Oh, yeah.
And Leverkusen dropped an upset that game. And like it was just a amazing atmosphere, and it was just crazy.
I bet. I've never been to a stadium. Like full, like I've been to a stadium, but not like full, like watch a game.
Oh man,
I bet that's a crazy experience.
You gotta go. It's ridiculously insane how it is. Yeah. So I went over there, and then it was just like a big culture shock. Everything was just completely different. I played a game against an academy, a local academy over there. 2 days later, me and my dad is like walking through Berlin, and we're seeing like people like shouting our name. Yo, Karel, we saw you from that game. I'm from that game. I'm like, God.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everything's just crazy over there.
I hear the energy like of the crowd just makes like the game so much more better. Like I can only imagine being the person playing. Oh my God.
Like you can barely even hear your own teammates when you're playing.
Yeah, I've had this dream too many times. Like, wow. Just to imagine what it would be like to play.
It's crazy.
I hear a lot of people like they don't even realize the crowd till after.
Yeah, man, you just have to have that mindset. Because if you like,
you don't want to take in the crowd, up, right?
There's no way you're gonna focus. It's just insane. They're yelling at you, the drums beating and throwing bottles.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You have to tune it out. You have to, man. And these players. Thankfully, I went to like the Hertha Academy, and they walked us through like all of the pro like players, like the routines and stuff.
Yeah.
And like they're like heavily on mental awareness and like making sure like you're good mentally on and off the pitch. What do you call those persons were like mentors? One of my mentors over there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he played for Germany national team. He played for Wolfsburg, Augsburg, and some other and Hertha BSC. He told me
can't find a better mentor.
Oh man, and he played the same position I played. 'Cause I play center back.
Oh, even better.
And he was a center back.
How convenient.
Yep. And then he told me one game they did like bad, and then I think he scored an own goal by mistake.
Oh.
The next day, people were throwing eggs at his house, breaking windows in his house.
Oh yeah.
Death threats, everything. It was like, so there's a good side about it, but then there's like the bad side.
There's always a negative.
Right. You're always looking over your shoulders, always. Because you have one bad game and people are all over you.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
One of my idols, a lot of people don't like him, but
Really?
Balotelli?
Oh, I love Balotelli.
Oh yeah. Have you heard his backstory?
No, I haven't.
Crazy. So he was adopted by an Italian family.
Okay.
And then once he made it, they wanted him back.
Oh.
Crazy, right?
Yep.
And he's always suffered racism, even from a young even from when he was young.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, you have to watch. I don't want to spoil it for you because there is a really good like YouTube documentary about it.
Really?
You should watch
it. You gotta send me that.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you did a month in what? A month and some weeks in Brazil?
Yes.
Okay, and what was next? You came back up to Canada?
Oh yeah, I'll give you the rundown.
Okay.
So from Brazil, it was. So once I left, the objective was to not come back.
Okay.
That was until I felt that I achieved something concrete. Let's say it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Brazil, went to Peru, Lima, specifically. Big culture shock.
Yeah.
Big culture shock. Stayed there for about another month and a half.
Playing with a different team?
Yeah, called Sporting Cristal.
Okay.
Incredible environment.
Wow.
Amazing girls.
Wow.
Crazy. Actually quite funny. All of them were shorter than me. I felt like an absolute giant.
No way.
Yeah, Peruvian girls pretty short.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dang.
I loved it though because I felt like I stuck out. I stuck out because I've always been this person to stand out. So it really added to it.
Wow.
I guess you could say. Yeah, that was I guess you could say in that point in my life, I was like, it was tough. I was in a hotel because I was put in a hotel. That was like how it worked. It was all paid for.
Oh, that's nice,
but like you didn't get to pick what you ate. That was that was the problem.
Wow.
I had food poisoning. I got really sick. I threw up and like I couldn't make it to I actually made it to training.
Wow.
I'm actually lying. I was going to say I didn't make it, but I did make it.
Wow.
But I didn't perform as well.
Obviously. Food poisoning, right?
And I didn't perform as well. And I had to wash my clothes by hand. I made the mistake of asking the front desk to do my laundry. I paid $50 for one load.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I swear.
No.
Yeah.
$50 for one load.
$50. Brother.
Oh my God.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what
would have absolutely washed all of my clothes by hand.
Yeah, it was difficult, but I was like, well, this is what my grandparents usually talk about. They're like, this is what they used to like. I just did it everything by hand, and I like asked them for extra hangers so I could hang all my stuff in the closet wet.
Damn.
I know it sucked, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Like I went to buy the laundry detergent and I just ran a bath and I just soaked everything in there. I just scrubbed. I had to wash every day because I didn't have a lot of clothing.
Yeah.
So I had to wash it almost every day.
Wow.
Almost every day.
For the entire time.
Because we all wore uniform.
Yep.
And they only gave me like one uniform to wear.
Damn.
So it was like. Oh, it was like repetitive, like every day, come home, make sure I wash it. One time I forgot it and like, oh my God, I had to wear it and it smelled so bad.
Yep.
You know those ones? Where you're like, I just had to do it. Just had to do it.
Man.
So yeah, there was that. Then when that ended, there was unfortunately no opportunity there for me because COVID was strong in Peru. I'm talking double mask, face visor outside.
Double mask, face visor outside.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Like, it was treacherous. So, they were really strict with their rules. I was like, okay, well, whatever. At least I get to play football.
Yeah.
I'll wear that and play football. Like, I don't care.
So, you guys had to wear it while you're playing?
No, but I'm just saying.
But you're saying you would if you had to.
Yeah, like, we had to wear that coming in to the, the camp.
Yeah.
And then we had to leave wearing it. But we didn't have to wear it while playing. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, like, even if that was the restriction, I would have done it. Because in Canada, like, we couldn't do anything.
Anything at all. Not even practice, nothing.
No. Man. I was getting tickets left, right, and center. Mind you, I didn't pay for them. I don't know what it was about the COVID tickets. I don't know if they got like waived.
Yeah, like what?
Never paid for one single COVID ticket. And I even called up like someone to like, like give me some reassurance in terms of like, oh, like, are these on my record?
Yeah.
No, it was like everything was a scam for the government to be paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it was. But from there, I was a little discouraged because I was afraid that I wouldn't, the opportunity probably would have ended for me there. I messaged a really good friend of mine. Her name is Sarah. We were friends online. She's from Vancouver. We've actually never met. I messaged her. I said, look, I don't know if you're playing for a team. Like, I'd love to join. Like, I don't know where you are. I flew to Chicago on a whim. Like, I didn't really know anybody. I just booked a hotel and I just went straight from Peru to Chicago. Met up with this trainer that I've been talking to that I knew through another Canadian coach.
Okay.
And I trained with him for a while as well. I think his Instagram's like Goal Training or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, super dope guy.
Yeah.
Stayed with him, trained with him for about maybe 3-4 sessions until Sarah messaged me back. And she was like, yeah, I'm with this team, like in Chicago.
No.
Yeah, in the same vicinity of where I just like happened to randomly go train with some guy I don't even know.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Like how things work out.
Damn.
She's like, yeah, I'm playing with this UCL team in like Chicago. Like, I don't know, like if you're like in the area or like you want to come down here because I can get you on this team. I was like, shut up.
It was meant to be.
It's like, shut up.
It was meant to be.
2 hours.
It was meant to be.
2 hours from where I was playing.
Yeah.
They came to pick me up. The coach and his daughter drove 2 hours to pick me up from where I was in my hotel, drove me back.
Damn.
And I met Sarah for the first time in like, I don't know, however many years we've been friends online. And I was like, dude, you don't know how much love and respect I have for you right now.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did this for me.
Wow.
And like how this worked out. I've always wanted to meet her. I've always wanted to play on the same team as her. But it just never worked out because she was from Vancouver. Like it wasn't like, ever gonna like. I don't think I ever saw it working out.
But it happened. It worked out. It worked out. Perfect.
We played on the same team for a while. And then that opportunity, finished. From there was actually a lot of drama and like crazy stuff that went on in that team. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh
Damn.
yeah. A lot of like
What is it like?
I don't know the
he
word.
say,
What's the
say?
word
What
I
is it?
can use? Like, it was just a lot of things were lies and
Yeah. He say, she
oh
say.
my god,
and-
oh my god. Like the coach's, like I don't even care. Like the coach's daughter was what's the word I could use? I don't want to say cancer, like a chlamydia. Oh yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. She's the type of girl like you would tell me something and then I would like
Twist it around.
and then go tell somebody else and the next thing you know it was like that person hates you and you don't even know why and then it's like this animosity in the team and like we're not playing well because we're worried about what people are saying and then
Yeah.
she just screwed up everything for everybody.
Damn.
And like we tried to have a team meeting, she didn't show up. She was like on FaceTime, everybody was screaming and it was like just
Whoa.
yeah, I'm telling you, it went haywire. So we got out of that situation.
Yeah, get out of there.
Oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
actually at the end of that, everybody got kicked out of their residences. So we had no choice but to get out.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because of the whole drama thing, you know, coach is gonna stick by his daughter. But it's crazy because it's like you'd think, okay, if your daughter was the issue, wouldn't you think there'd be people on her side? How are you gonna tell me that 26 players are all saying the same thing? I'm telling you, like we were all in awe because we were like, wow, we have never dealt with anything like this.
Yeah.
Like imagine a whole team hating you because of what you've done to them. Wow. How you've treated them.
Oh man.
The things you've said.
I would have had to do some terrible shit.
There were so many
shit.
players that were hurt.
Wow.
Like I'm talking like crying, hurt
Because of that.
because of her. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So that died.
Yep, you left
We
there.
all thankfully we all got out safe, you know. Even a friend that I made had to drive like 20 something hours. She drove from like Saskatchewan. I don't know if you know where that is.
Damn.
But I'm talking like North Canada, like hella north. Yeah, she drove from Saskatchewan to Chicago to play for this team. And she was the one that was the most hurt.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we all left.
Man.
I had nowhere to go. At this point, no opportunities were.
Yeah,
You know,
in the makes or whatever.
nothing. So shout out to Peyton. She was another player on the same team. She let me stay at her house. We trained together for about a month. Stayed at her house. I was like family. Loved her family. And because of her, I was able to find another opportunity.
Oh.
Right.
What was it?
I had another friend online. Never met him. Antonios. He was based in Ottawa, but he moved to Mexico
Okay.
to train the Club America girls.
Oh.
One of the best teams in Mexico, by
Yeah.
the way. Hella. One of the best teams, like top teams.
yeah.
Yeah. He's the strength and conditioning coach for that team. What did I do? Message him. I'm like, yo, look, I have this. I just need to get out. Like, I feel bad. I've been staying at this my friend's place for a
Yeah.
month. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just need something.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I come train with you? From Chicago to Mexico. Stayed with him
Damn.
for another month. Yeah. Gave me plans, this and that. Ape mode fitness.
Dang.
Shout out to that too,
Ape
because
Mode Fitness.
crazy. Made me into an absolute animal.
Only 1 month.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
a month. Like
Month.
he's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like I had like strokes. like
Damn.
like I wanted to die half the time. Like I was like I couldn't do it anymore. Like
Yeah.
I was at the point of like I'm gonna give up.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna give up in this workout and everything that
Yeah.
I've worked hard
Yeah.
for. Like I'm giving up. I can't do
Damn.
it. Yeah.
It was that intense.
Yeah, like I think I threw up once at a workout that he gave me. Thankfully he wasn't there, and I didn't tell him about it.
Yeah.
Like it was intense.
Yeah.
It was intense. Mind you, I'm doing all this traveling with no agent,
Yeah.
and then
All by yourself.
and then I found one.
Oh.
I signed with him prior to Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Right before I went to Mexico,
before.
signed with someone. Thankfully, there were flaws in that contract because it was the worst decision I ever made. Yeah. I got the opportunity to go straight to Benidorm right after Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in Benidorm for about 2.5 months. I had to pay for my own apartment. I had to
Damn.
work. I worked a little bartending job.
Yep.
Underneath the table, nothing, because I didn't have a work visa. I didn't have anything, so yeah, I worked like a legal immigrant in another country. I did a lot of, jet ski tours, which is super dope.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
I just tried to do something,
Yeah,
right?
just grind it out. Get some income coming.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
We won't mention any names, but we'll say that I was offered many opportunities for sexual adventures to a more successful path in football.
Oh my God.
And I declined every single one of them.
Yep, absolutely.
And the only thing that was keeping me bonded to this person was that contract. Wow. And being a person who had no help, no advice, no mentor, nothing, I was very uneducated in how to get out. Right?
Yep.
I didn't have a lawyer, I couldn't afford
you didn't know
one.
anything.
Like,
You're
what
all
is
on your
this
own at that
nonsense?
point.
I just want to play ball.
Yeah.
What is all this other garbage?
I want to play soccer. I want to play football.
Like, what is this nonsense?
Yep.
I can't lie to you when I tell you this stuff.
Okay.
I was being asked the most weirdest shit you could possibly imagine.
God.
Am I sexually active?
Oh my God.
What kind of men or women am I interested in? Is my period cycle like I don't know how do I word this? Like, is my period cycle consistent?
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Things so unrelated to the sport.
Unrelated. Like, how many guys have I had sex with?
Oh my God.
Would I do certain sexual things to better myself in the game?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, some crazy questions. And me being like, oh, well, maybe this will get me where I want to go. I'm fucking answering these questions like an idiot.
Damn.
Like an idiot. Yeah, I can't lie to you and be like, oh, yeah, well, I wasn't naive. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, this is crazy. Like, how could you be asking me these things?
Yeah.
Like an idiot, I'm answering them. Because I'm like, you're my agent. You represent me. I trust you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I got to a point where I was like, later. And I'm like, this is where I drew the line. He became the person behind the questions. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
He became the person that was actually asking the questions because he wanted to know them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you finally realized that. And what happened?
Thankfully, I found a loophole. That contract was not as binding as I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
I got out of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank
Big
God
time.
you did, right?
Big time. And I've dealt with between him and the other thing that really took me by surprise was in Mexico. I did a I wanted to do some extracurricular things, just to, I don't know, enjoy my time.
Yep.
Did some surfing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Problem with that was one of the people in the surfing community played the role of a football agent. Considering I've just been through this shit show.
God.
And I was like, okay, let me just hop on this next opportunity. I'm telling this guy this whole story I just told you.
Yeah.
And it went into full depth.
Yeah.
And from there, he just, oh my God, he ate that shit up. He used it to his advantage to manipulate me into thinking that he was gonna sell me an even bigger picture to this better life, football, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, just giving it all to me. I'm telling you, money wise, this, that, and whatever it may be, accommodations, and he'd pay for everything, the flights, if I wanted to go home more than normal, and he was just selling it. And he was overdressed, which had me believe it.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. I'll cut the story short. Mm-hmm. After getting the contract he gave me translated by one of my Spanish teammates.
Yeah. Oh my God! Don't tell me you're gonna.
The contract allows whoever in the organization that he's running, whatever organization that he's running,
Yeah.
to burn my passport the minute I get off the plane of my final destination. Then I'm put into like some type of captivity thing, and they sell my organs.
What the? Oh my God! What the heck? What the heck?
You seem surprised.
I am absolutely surprised about this. What? Oh my gosh. Okay.
I was told things like this exist,
Exactly.
but I never believed
That's what I'm
it.
saying. I hear it
Pardon?
sometimes and stuff, but I would never believe it unless you told it to me.
You'd think it's like a myth, or
Yeah.
like people are just talking out their ass, or it's like, oh,
Man.
movie based on a true story. It's true. It's just the first time I've actually ever experienced it.
Yeah.
And to think, like, imagine if I was hella naive and I signed that shit. Next thing you know, I'm on a plane to my death.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. These people are out to get you. And the minute I found that out, I left.
Yep.
I left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have gotten out of there.
It was just horrendous. And then after that, I didn't have an agent at all. I didn't have any. I just didn't want one.
Yeah.
I just didn't want one.
After that, I wouldn't want one either.
Oh my God. I'm like just finding
Man.
opportunities on my own through my platform, through people I know, like so much more safer. I represented myself.
Yep,
You know, I wasn't
absolutely.
very educated, but I was just like, look, I'm A, B, C, D, E, F. Look at my CV, look at my videos, look at this. This is me.
Yep.
Talk to me about a contract. Talk to me about whatever.
to me
I'm
about footy.
willing
Yeah.
to talk to you. I'm willing to negotiate. I don't really care about the money. You could keep the money. Just feed me and give me accommodation. I'm willing to work up
Yeah.
from the bottom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Played with Benidorm. I had to work my way up. After that, I ended up going to a private training facility.
Okay.
After that, I went from the lowest team in the league to the highest team in the league. That training, little training camp thing that I did, that private training, the guy that ran it was like, what team are you playing for? Like, where are you from? Like, yada, yada, yada. Giving me this whole, questionnaire. And the next thing you know, he's like calling up the coach of like a better team, best team in the league. And he goes, I have this player that's playing for this team that literally like the lowest team in the league. I jumped like big time.
Big time.
Big time. We're talking like not a huge jump, but we're talking like 6th, 7th division, Spain.
Wow.
But it was competitive as shit. Hella. Like training was insane.
What's the name of this team?
It's called Intercity Alicante.
Oh.
Yeah.
City of Alicante.
Beautiful, beautiful. Went from like a really small town to like big city. Wow. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
So that's when you started seeing something.
Better football, better treatment,
Yeah.
culture, everything. Like that's where it started to get really good for me. Really, really good. Then after the whole agent situation, I signed with Luso Jess Sports.
Okay.
UK based agency.
Okay.
Love him. I think Bruno, and then there's another guy that's all teamed up with him. Still currently with them.
Okay.
They got me the opportunity in Malta.
Oh.
That was my first concrete professional contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How was that? How was like, when he came to you with that information or like that news?
Oh,
How'd
I wanted
you
to
feel?
jump on it. Like there was no second guessing it. I was like, I'm going tomorrow. Like I'm going. So within him telling me 3 days, I left. And that's actually quite funny. My coach was really distraught. I mean, even though I'm not really that bilingual in Spanish, I can speak enough to get by.
Yeah.
I understood half the things that he said. He was kind of like upset because he said something funny. He goes, usually people when they score a hat trick, they want to stay. I scored a hat trick in my last game with them and I left. And then
Yeah.
I scored a hat trick in my first game in Malta.
Hey, let's go. Shit.
Crazy, right?
Yep.
Super cool. So 9 months in Malta. It was a emotional roller coaster, for sure. It was like the whole, you have to get vaccinated. You're being forced to have a booster, a second booster, all this. Yeah, it was like you have no control whatsoever. So after arguing, trying to convince, trying to manipulate, I don't know, I tried to do everything to Try to get out of it.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I don't know what ended up happening. I ended up getting on levels of an agreement to where, okay, if you don't get vaccinated, you have to take a swab every game. I said, I'll just do that.
Okay.
I'll just do that.
Yeah.
What happens?
What happens?
I test positive for COVID.
Oh.
COVID. Oh. No symptoms at all.
Same thing with me.
Buddy,
I didn't get any.
I was walking like nothing ever happened. I had to train on my own because I had to be segregated from the group.
Yeah.
I had to go do whatever it was. Oh yeah, I just got and I missed 3 games and the president was pissed.
Damn.
Pissed. He goes, "Why wouldn't you listen to us?" I said,
But what?
"Well,
But how was it?
I was like, wait a minute.
Fault?
I was like, wait a minute. You gave me a choice." And then he gets mad at me because I made a choice. Like, I'm so confused because then after like he was like, now you don't have any choices.
Damn.
When I hear shit like that,
it makes you boil.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And you know, as an aspiring footballer, being told that you are not one, and you know, it triggers something. Even though I'm not considering myself to be a friggin' millionaire, but in the levels of respect, didn't exist.
Wow.
Didn't exist. I'll never go back there. But it was the best experience of my life.
Wow.
Best experience of my life. Yeah. Taught me a lot. I was degraded, but best experience of my life. Yeah. And and like the environment was amazing. Like the island itself was just lavish.
Wow.
Lavish.
Lavish.
Friends came to visit me. It was lavish. I was living nice. Very, very nice.
But then ultimately, you decided, nah, I can't.
It's really difficult. Think about it.
Anymore.
Think about it like your best friend comes to visit you in the hospital, supports you in that. You look at it as support in that sense. Other than that, it's kind of like, but they talk shit about you once they leave.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
This makes no sense. Why? Why would I want to be around an environment like this weird, it's weird energy.
Yeah. It's
weird energy,
Last question before we close, right? Walk me through how you were able to be part of FIFA.
Oh, I knew you were gonna hit me with this question.
I had to ask you. I had to be the best for last. Tell me about that.
When I was 18, I played for a team called Mississauga, League One.
Okay.
It was about 30 minutes west of where I was.
Yep.
I was not able to make the team, but I trained with them, and it was a great opportunity because I was younger than everybody else, and everybody was kind of in their like mid-20s, early 30s, and I was like I was 18, right? I did say that.
Yeah.
And the coach connected me with someone who connected me with someone else. It was just like a
connection.
Yeah. And this person was like, "Oh, flights paid for, accommodations paid for, food's paid for, everything." I couldn't say no. My mom was livid.
Wow.
I didn't tell her about it. 2 days before I left, I said, "Mom, I'm going to Montreal." Went straight to Montreal. Was a smaller facility of the bigger one that's in Vancouver for the actual FIFA.
Wow.
Is based in Vancouver. And the guy that had this project idea was connected to FIFA, but also trying to like branch off and do his own thing.
Okay.
So that was kind of my in, was like I really wanted to be a part of the FIFA thing, but like the other thing was my in. Like I had to really, be a part of the other thing first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. It kind of ended up dying because I don't know. I think a really tragic thing happened in his life. He didn't end up telling us. So the project died.
Okay.
But it was like this app that would like give you a 360 vertical of like a footballer on like how to pass, how to shoot, how to accept a ball, body language, how to correct it, even like injury prevention, like all this stuff. Considering I was a person who just tore my ACL, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
So with all that being said, I was like, he was like, "You'd be a perfect candidate." you'd be a perfect candidate for all that. So between the guy that connected me, he went, I flew out with him, and then I met a bunch of people that just didn't speak English. Half the people were from Brazil, Spain, that.
okay.
Yeah, they're all being, like, I guess he had connections in different countries, and he kind of just picked, like, the best
out of each of them.
Footballers or whatever. He just picked, like, people that knew other people or just were lucky enough to get the opportunity, like me, because there was no way. I was not the best one on that team then. It was just literally connections. Knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy.
Dang.
And it was like the dopest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Wow.
Yeah. I met so many people, learned a little bit of Portuguese that I don't remember.
Yeah.
Got to, play with some of what I would say would be some of the best footballers I've met.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. There was one guy there, he was married, but he was one of the best goalkeepers. And he brought his wife with him. She was so supportive. She actually spoke English and would, like, translate for us.
Yeah.
It was
What did they make you guys do?
All different types of
Skills and stuff?
Yeah, skills, movements. We even got to do, like, a little bit of freestyle. We did things together, celebrations for the game, like all that type of stuff.
Wow,
Because they use more
thing.
the movements rather than us as characters. They just use the movements, which was pretty dope anyways.
That's lit.
I got my paycheck at the end
That's
of the
so
day.
lit. Oh man, I bet it was a good one.
And I
too.
know, because everyone asks this, and I'm not on the real cover of FIFA. Everyone gets this misconstrued.
Okay.
Like, even if you read the caption, people still disregard it for some reason.
Oh yeah, I would.
Like, it's amazing. So I don't know if you know F2. They're like a huge.
I know F2.
I
know
love
F2.
them.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So they actually got featured on a FIFA cover, and out of nowhere, I just, like, emailed the guy when I came back from the trip. I was like, look, I know this is gonna sound insane. Like, I doubt this is ever gonna happen, but I just want to throw an idea out there. Is it any way, like, you could, like, put me on the cover of FIFA? Like, it would be dope. Like, even if it was fake, like, I would just love to have it, like, as a token and a memory of this whole experience.
Yeah.
Please, it'd be dope. And what ends up happening is they have this whole, like, presentation ceremony, little surprise set up for me in a store that's closed. Like, it was rented out, the store.
Yeah.
Like, you have, like, an EB Games here too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was like an EB Games. It was all closed, and they like set up, like, a whole wall, and, like, I put like a bunch of the like like all the covers, like, on the wall. It was
like,
insane, dude. It's amazing what that can do to the mind.
Wow.
Seeing it, believing it, like, looking at it and feeling it and being there in the moment.
All for you.
That's great. It was if you look at the date, it was actually like 4 or 5 days before my birthday.
Wow.
Because when I emailed them, I didn't get an answer.
Yep.
And that ended up happening. It was the coolest thing ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's no game in it. If anything, I bought FIFA and I put the game in my
the paper
cover.
in your cover, absolutely, man. But it's still good though. It's a really
Cool,
good
right?
experience, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. But my producer is getting at me over here over the time, so we're gonna have to cut it.
You want me to slip them? How much you want?
How much you want?
How much for extra
How much
time?
you want?
How much extra time? That's serious.
But it was a really, really good talk. I really appreciated.
Oh man, I'm honored. I'm so glad. Thank you for everything that you've ever done.
Appreciate you for coming out here.
Oh my God, wait.
Coming out here.
Actually, before I forget.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh.
Can't leave.
There's more.
I was really upset because I was really grateful about what you did for me and how you flew me out here and everything.
Yeah.
I was sad that I couldn't give you, like, a jersey or a piece of something.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
You have my word.
Oh,
I will send
jersey
you.
coming.
I will be sending you one, but for now we have this little.
Hey, a little token from Canada. I love this.
It's cute, eh?
Yeah. Wow.
I had to get you something. I was like, man, I'm gonna come here empty-handed. This is crazy.
This is nice. I like this.
It's cute, eh? I don't know.
Oh, and NHL too. I like this. Okay.
We're
wow.
we're a big hockey country.
Big hockey country. Wow.
Yeah,
But
I know. I had to get you a little something.
I love it.
It's not much, but I had to.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Oh, man.
Your story is amazing. And
Hopefully there's going to be more to tell you later.
Oh, man, absolutely.
There's always going to be
Part
more.
2 coming?
Hell yeah.
Part 2 coming.
Hell yeah.
Hey, keep being resilient. Keep being ambitious. And keep doing your thing. Keep working hard.
I appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.